On December 5, 1945, at 2:10 p.m., 5 fighter jets took off from Florida in the United States. This flight is known as Flight 19. These jets were conducting a routine 3-hour training mission. It was not a special flight, but just a routine training mission. There were a total of 14 crew members on the flight, led by a flight leader who was a very experienced pilot. The 5 planes headed east after taking off from Florida. Everything was going smoothly and the weather was excellent. However, about 2 hours into the flight, one pilot reported that suddenly his compass had malfunctioned and was not working correctly. He then took out his backup compass, but the backup compass also malfunctioned and did not work properly. They were unaware of their exact location at that moment. The pilot asked the other plane's pilots, but their instruments were also not working correctly. Their leader's name was Charles Taylor, and after the compasses malfunctioned, a series of confusing messages were heard over the radio transmission. Charles Taylor said, "Both my compasses are out, and I am trying to find Fort Lauderdale, FL. I am over land, but it is broken. I am sure I'm in the Keys, but I don't know how far down, and I don't know how to get to Fort Lauderdale." The weather was gradually deteriorating. At 4:56 p.m., Taylor believed that their jets had actually reached the Gulf of Mexico, so now they needed to fly east to return to Florida. He commanded all planes to fly east, but some crew members felt that they were already heading east and needed to fly west. Immediately after this order, a radio transmission was heard from one of the planes. "Damn it! If we could just fly west, we could get home. Head west, damn it!" This indicated that some crew members believed they should fly west to return home. However, the weather continued to worsen, the sun set, and it became dark. At this time, it was believed that these planes were actually 370 kilometers east of Florida. At 7:04 p.m., the last radio transmission was heard. "All planes close up tight. We will have to ditch unless landfall. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons, we all go down together." After this, these 5 planes disappeared forever. To this day, we do not know where these planes are or what happened to them. After the disappearance of Flight 19, a Search Mariner aircraft took off with a group of 13 people. Its mission was to find Flight 19, but unfortunately, this aircraft also disappeared. First, 14 people from Flight 19 went missing, and now 13 people from the Mariner aircraft also went missing. Following this, a massive sea search operation was conducted, the largest search operation at that time, to find both flights. However, nothing was found, neither any bodies nor any aircraft wreckage. Interestingly, the place where these planes disappeared is known today as the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is said to be the most mysterious part of the ocean, where more than 100 airplanes and ships have disappeared without a trace. This area stretches from Florida in the United States to Puerto Rico and then to Bermuda, forming a triangle. It covers an area of 500,000 square miles. Stories about the Bermuda Triangle are over 500 years old. In 1492, when Christopher Columbus set out to discover the New World, he reported that his compass stopped working when passing through this area. Additionally, he saw a very strange sight outside his ship, a strange light that looked like a ball of fire falling from the sky into the ocean. This marked the beginning of the mystery, and in the coming centuries, many names were given to this mysterious area, such as the Graveyard of the Atlantic, the Sea Doom, and the Sargasso Graveyard. These names were used in the 18th and 19th centuries, but the term Bermuda Triangle was first used in 1964. Writer named Vincent Hayes Gaddis wrote an article titled "The Deadly Bermuda Triangle" in a magazine called Argosy. This was the first time the term Bermuda Triangle was used. In this article, he summarized all the incidents that had previously occurred in the Bermuda Triangle and tried to make it a mystery, suggesting that there was something very strange in this area causing so many ships and planes to disappear. No explanation was given as to why this happened, but due to this mystery, the Bermuda Triangle became the most popular mystery of that era. The Bermuda Triangle became so popular that many books were written about it, several movies were made, various computer games were developed, and even some songs were created about it. Talking about some more incidents, one notable event happened in 1918 involving the USS Cyclops, a ship of the US Navy. It was the largest and fastest ship the US Navy had built at the time. This ship was a significant asset for the US Navy, especially when America started participating in World War I. It was used to transport coal. On March 4, 1918, 360 people boarded the USS Cyclops. The ship departed from Baltimore, a city near Washington, heading towards Brazil. Besides the people, the ship carried 11,000 tons of manganese. The journey was supposed to take at least 7 days. The weather was clear, and the ship sent a message saying, "Weather fair," but this was the last message from the ship. The USS Cyclops disappeared en route, and like many other ships, it was never seen again. This incident left everyone shocked. How could such a large ship of the US Navy suddenly disappear? If you find this event mysterious, then the mystery of the Ellen Austin is even more terrifying and haunting. In 1881, a 210-metre-long ship named Ellen Austin was travelling from London to New York, but along the way, it spotted an unknown ship. The strange thing was that there was no crew on that ship. The captain of the Ellen Austin decided to investigate what had happened on that ship. First, they waited for 2 days, keeping their ship close to the unknown ship in case anyone was aboard. However, no signals were received from the unknown ship. Then, the captain boarded the ship. It was full of cargo and everything was in its place. In those days, there was a threat from pirates who could loot the cargo, but nothing like that had happened as all the valuable and precious items were still there. The captain of the Ellen Austin then decided to send some of his crew members to that ship and take it along with them. For the first 2 days, both ships sailed together peacefully. But then a storm hit, and the two ships were separated. The unknown ship disappeared. After the storm, the captain of the Ellen Austin searched for the ship and found it again, but when they reached it, they discovered that once again there were no crew members aboard. The captain was shocked because the crew members he had sent to the unknown ship had also vanished. What happened to those crew members remains unknown. Nevertheless, the captain of the Ellen Austin decided to send another group of crew members to the ship and take it along. However, after another 2 or 3 days, another storm hit and the same thing happened. All the crew members disappeared again. When the Ellen Austin returned, its owner was so terrified by the captain's account that he sold the ship to a German company, which renamed it Meta. However, it is said that this is just a story with no connection to reality, as this incident is so old that verifying it is impossible. Stories that are very old and impossible to verify are called urban legends, meaning they have no basis in reality. Most probably, the Bermuda Triangle is also an urban legend. Many theories have been proposed about it. Some people blame aliens, suggesting that aliens might have taken the missing ships and planes. Others claim that there is a giant sea monster under the ocean in this area that makes the ships disappear. Some believe that the ocean in this region has unique properties that pull objects down. These theories are generally baseless. However, let's focus on theories that are somewhat scientific and reasonably credible. One such theory involves magnetism. The real issue is that the Earth's true North Pole and the magnetic North Pole are two different points. When we use a compass to find the North Pole, it actually points to the magnetic North Pole, whereas the true North Pole, also called the geographic North Pole, is slightly offset. You can see in this image how much difference there is between the actual North Pole and the geographic North Pole. However, there are certain places on Earth where the compass will point to the same point for both the magnetic and geographic North Poles. These places are called agonic lines. These agonic lines change over time, but in the past 200–300 years, they have remained around or within the Bermuda Triangle. This causes confusion. Another theory is that the area of the Bermuda Triangle is very shallow. If you look at it using satellite imagery, you'll notice that the watercolor in the Bahamas is quite light. This indicates a vast area of shallow water. In contrast, the deep ocean surrounding it has a much darker blue color. It is said that in ancient times, ships would get stuck in this shallow water. Hidden shoals are areas in the ocean where the sediment rises higher than usual, making them difficult to see. Ships that sailed into these areas would get stuck. The third point is that the Bermuda Triangle experiences a high frequency of hurricanes. If you look at which countries have the most hurricanes, China ranks first, followed by the USA and then Cuba. Cuba lies in the Florida area, which sees the most hurricanes globally. The fourth theory involves methane hydrates. There is a significant amount of methane hydrates found in this region. Australian scientists conducted laboratory tests and found that increasing the amount of methane in water decreases its density, causing objects floating on the water to sink easily. This is similar to how increasing the salt content in water increases its density, making it easier for objects to float. For example, a person who might sink in a regular sea can float in the Dead Sea because of its high salt content. The same principle works in reverse with methane eruptions. If a methane eruption occurs where a ship is sailing, the ship can sink without any warning due to the reduced water density. These are all interesting explanations, but so far there is no evidence that the incidents in the Bermuda Triangle happened because of these theories. However, the fifth theory is the most important because it relates to human psychology. This phenomenon is called the frequency illusion. It is a psychological effect where, once we start noticing something, we begin to see it more frequently around us. The same is said about the Bermuda Triangle. It is true that large ships have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle, but ships have also disappeared in many other parts of the ocean that are not part of the Bermuda Triangle. This is why, when people heard about the Bermuda Triangle mystery, they began to pay more attention to it and ignored incidents happening outside of it. Journalist Larry Couchet, who wrote the book The Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved, also came to this conclusion. He said that many incidents initially attributed to the Bermuda Triangle were true, but as the mystery grew, people began creating stories about it. The story of the Ellen Austin, which I told you, is also considered to be a fabricated tale. According to America's NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, there is no evidence that the incidents in the Bermuda Triangle occur more frequently than in other parts of the ocean. There is nothing special about the Bermuda Triangle that causes the highest number of disappearances. The US Coast Guard even says that the Bermuda Triangle is not a harmful area. These are just fabricated stories. They say that the Bermuda Triangle area experiences a high amount of sea and air traffic, which increases the chances of incidents occurring. Moreover, if you consider that this area has a high frequency of hurricanes and very shallow waters, you can understand the answer to the Bermuda Triangle mystery. Despite the high number of hurricanes, when WWF conducted a detailed study in 2013, they did not even list the Bermuda Triangle among the 10 most dangerous places for shipping. In short, there is no direct connection between the Bermuda Triangle and these mysterious disappearances. If you ask about what Christopher Columbus saw when he reported a ball of fire falling into the water, scientists have a simple explanation. They believe it was a meteorite that Columbus witnessed. If you found this video informative and enjoy watching such informative content, please subscribe to the channel.